Welcome to Season 3 of the Knack for Business podcast. Over 300 episodes strong, we're here to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit with fresh insights, networking gems, and creative strategies that elevate your game. Are you ready to discover what your Knack for Business truly is? Your hosts are Bernie Franz-Grote from Creative Insight and Wayne Pratt from Motivate You Inc.
Today's topic is Beyond Survival, the small business guide to predictable growth. From the audience perspective, how can you scale your business without losing control of your revenue, team, or company culture? That's what Al Guvener is going to tell you about, and he's from 12-7 Adventures. He's returning in Season 3. Al is a seasoned sales and marketing executive and fractional chief revenue officer at 12-7 Ventures Inc., bringing over 3 decades of experience across North America, Europe, and the Middle East. With a background in economics and IT security, Al blends the strategic insight and with technical expertise to drive revenue growth and business scaling. His leadership spans B2C and B2B software sales, consistently exceeding targets while fostering strong client and partner relationships. A master of business development, executive coaching, and change management. Al is known for building high-performing teams and crafting sustainable growth strategies. Al, welcome back. And do you have a favorite quote or saying, sir?
Thank you so much. It's good to be with you guys again. This is my second podcast, so I am very happy to be with you. The quote I like recently is success is stumbling from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm.
Winston Churchill.
Yes.
Small business. They realize they're getting more business. They're starting to get more activity, and one person can't do it all, or the few people that they have can't do it all. What are the typical issues that they run into when they try to get bigger and scale up?
The biggest issues when they're just going from startup to scale up, or just existing business for a while, small, but they want to go to next level up, just validation is the issue. So because without validated and seeing that repeatable sales process, many businesses invest in expansion, hiring more salespeople, increasing marketing spend, or launching into new markets without just being prepared and then doing the readiness test. Without ensuring they have a predictable revenue engine and a solid foundation, they unfortunately burn cash and struggle to sustain growth.
So what's the difference between a startup and a scale up? When you're starting up, it's like you're ramping up, but scaling up, what's the difference?
The startup is still searching for the product market fit and refining its business model. A scale up, on the other hand, has validated its market, knows about the market and product and where they are, build a repeatable revenue and model, and is now focused on accelerating growth efficiently and sustainably. If you're a strong leader and a good businessman, then this is the right time for us to go to next level up. It's not because you saw from others they are just getting bigger, oh, let me do it as well. First, you need to make sure that are you in the right phase in your life.
What does value-based pricing mean?
Value-based pricing means is that it's not the price that you just basically price the product because cost and let's say 10-20% of margin. So it's the change based on the customer's outcome, not just the cost. So you are just putting a price that what market can demand or pay for it.
So as a company grows, you have the right valuation for the product, et cetera. What are the signs that we're ready to expand? What are the KPIs?
Yeah. So in order to be ready to scale, you need to have 3 major things you need to pay attention. One of them is the predictable revenue, which is like consistent sales, high retention, and data-backed forecasting. So when you just have the forecast, should have certain data in hand. So like KPIs. Operational efficiency is important. The ability to handle increased demand and without breaking the internal systems. So then making sure that every part of your organization working smoothly and efficiently. So then you feel that, okay, everything is fine. We solved all the issues. We covered all the bases. Now we are ready to go up the next level up. And also the third one, of course, the most important is the market demand. So if there's no market demand, there's no point to just produce or just increase your business more. So evident that there's a scalable market for your product or service beyond early adopters. Sometimes in the beginning of your business, there's some demand because you're new. But is it just for the beginning, or you see a like foreseeable future that your product is going to be always in the market, sees the demand that you are looking for?
So pricing strategies, like part of what I see sometimes you give like loss leaders as an example of a pricing strategy. Do you find that for long-term gain, version 1 has a certain price, into version 2, and you reduce the price of version 1? How do you shape that so you don't lose ground, don't lose credibility with the client going, you don't want to have them think, I overpaid the first time around. That in the convenience store, they'll price the milk nicely, but they get you to come in and buy other things more expensive than off the grocery shelf.
Pricing is important. It should be backed by market demand and the price for the same item by the competition. Version 1 and version 2, let's say switching from iPhone 7 to 8 or the other ones, basically you need to just tell the market that why price is more because of the added values, added features. So once you just relay your message comfortably, and then if people understand it, and people usually just willing to pay accordingly.
Everyone has a loyalty program right now. And I think I know why people want to do it. Can you tell me the data they can glean and use from the loyalty programs?
Of course, loyalty programs are important. You want to retain the customer base. You want them keep coming, keep repeating the sales. These are easier than new acquisitions because for new customers, you spend more money for marketing. You need to go after them. You need to just hunt them down. So then they come and then buy your products or services. But the loyalty program is guarantee you just they're going to come again and again. You're just giving them points or just some discounts in return their loyalty. So that's why it's always just good to invest in loyalty programs and check the data and numbers. So how many customers just repeating? This is also going to help you a lot to scale your business.
Can you tell me what you view digital marketing as?
Of course. So digital marketing is today's marketing. So basically, without just investing in digital marketing, you cannot reach millions. For doing digital marketing, you need to make sure that your SEO in place. So when people go online, search for certain product and services, you come up on the first page, not on the fifth page. So people super fast paced these days. If they cannot find you, they don't come to your website or business. In the past, there were newspaper ads, but now we are using digital ads on social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even LinkedIn. That's why it is so important to be active and knowing what digital marketing is.
So inbound and outbound sales, I've heard that term before. What does that mean?
So inbound sales, you did certain activities, either customer heard your product or services, they're just already heard you and that heard your product, and then they just they're showing interest and they're just calling and inquire about more. Those are the inbound one after your marketing activities. And then the outbound one is the one that they're proactively calling clients and try to sell products and services. So both inbound and outbound should be working like seamlessly. Sometimes inbound inquiries is closed by the outbound activities because those are coming, inbound activities come like a leads. And then the outbound sales folks just call them, making sure that customers understand the product and ready to buy and then close the deal. So as I said, like inbound and outbound should be working hand in hand.
CRMs. Could you please explain it to I hate acronyms.
Yes.
So could you explain it and also say how to use it to market yourself better?
Yes, of course. CRM, that just basically in all days, people using either pen and paper or they were just using Excel sheets. Today's world, we are using CRMs to capture all the information from clients and then putting in a like meaningful data and then take the information whenever we want, and also helps us to follow up with the client and create the pipeline. So that's why in today's world, even very small businesses using customer relationship management, which is CRM, used to maximize their sales and sales efforts.
So, CRM is tech. When is tech you believe in investing in, and when is it a shiny object that's just going to distract you?
So technology is good investment. Let's say you're at the bootstrapping stage, and then you come to a level that customers or inquiries are increasing. And then you feel not like you're dealing 10, 20 people on an Excel sheet. Now the numbers are you're just talking or just reaching out is like hundreds. Then it's the time for you to go to CRM, take notes, because same client can call again and again, inquire about different stuff. If you have CRM in place, you can easily pull up the file, looking at the data, understand the conversation they had before with the company, and then offer products and services accordingly. And plus, when customer felt that being remembered by the company, they pay more attention or they leaning towards your products more than I called 2 weeks ago. Oh, really? Sorry about that. I didn't know that you called. So that's why it is very important to have CRM when you go over certain threshold. And this threshold may be different from company to company. But usually when you see the numbers hundreds, definitely you need to CRM. Plus, there are many CRM in the market. For the beginning level, it's free of charge. Even HubSpot gives you free service with limited features. There are several more CRMs in the market.
If we talked about loyalty programs, we talked about the CRM being that piece. Would you say warranties also help provide point of leverage? Now, obviously, a warranty on a chocolate bar, it's good for that bite. That's it. Once it's past the gate, it's done, as long as it's healthy. But if you're buying a car or a barbecue or a computer, how much impact does a warranty have on that whole thing? And how do you structure the warranties? Because some warranties are, you have 1 year parts and labor, and then other ones you can buy an extended warranty. Or how does that play into the overall?
Okay, so warranty is definitely a tool to bring more clients to you. Imagine you want to go out and shopping around to buy the barbecue for yourself. And then there are two items. One has no warranty and the other one is warranty. Why you lean towards the one with warranty? You know that if something goes wrong, your product is backed by a warranty. So either you return to fix or get a replacement. So in today's world, people hardly buy items if there's no warranty. So warranty is basically is a peace of mind.
This kind of then brings us into the overall scheme of things. Obviously, if you're a large business, you'll have someone that can help focus this all cohesively. If you're starting up, though, when do you go, I need a chief revenue officer, pull that plug and go, okay, here we go. How do I bring everything together?
Yes, when the revenue growth stalls, that you came to $5 million and cannot add a single penny on top of it, and sometimes even going down. Or there's a misalignment between sales and marketing and other departments. What you are trying to do and is not well understood by operation team or vice versa. Or you came to a level that, you know what, everything is smooth. We are working efficiently. All the departments in the company knows the core mission, values, and our target. Now it's ready to go to next level. In this phase, in one of these phases, you will definitely need a chief revenue officer, either full-time or fractional, making sure that this person help you to reach your goals and the revenue you desire.
Would it be fair to say then the fractional officer serves as a coach at this point?
Exactly. Chief revenue officer or fractional chief revenue officer are C-level, executive level leaders. So let me explain first between the fractional and just the full time. Full time is sits in the company for Monday to Friday during the operational hours, and then always there. Fractional one is part time for them, comes to office or remotely work, and doing as much as the job at a fractional time and cost. Meaning that, let's say, overhead of a in-house chief revenue officer, $200,000, the fraction of a cost, you can get almost the similar services, almost a similar support from a very low cost. A chief revenue officer is doing it, how it's doing it, making sure that all sales, marketing, customer service working well, and then producing results. Imagine you have a sales guy you're focusing on to sell stuff, but at the same time, there are low-hanging fruits, inbound calls coming to customer service, and customers may be ready to be getting another product or service from you, or you can upsell. But if customer service is not trained well and not reporting to the chief revenue officer, then doesn't even bother just pitching for the sale. So that's why chief revenue officer, some people confuse with this like tax-related titles. It's not. A chief revenue officer help you to get those money that you are looking for, help you to invest in your company, help you scale smoothly and reaching the right place at the right time.
How do you keep an eye on finances when you're in a growth spurt?
Okay, this is a good question. As chief revenue officers, not we are only just looking at the sales, but we are making sure that the all revenue operation runs smoothly. So in this case, we just give the right advice and insight to the business owner or the CEO. It is the time to invest or not to invest. Such as some businessmen or CEOs rushing to get the result, hiring more sales folks, investing in technology, buying a bigger warehouse, expecting that they're going to get more sales and then this is what they need. No, chief revenue officer making sure that everything optimized and everything goes smoothly. That's why what we are doing is called scaling. So we scale the businesses at the right time and with the right pace.
One of the things I noticed with products, and it's the impression left with the consumer. For example, if you walk into a restaurant, you can smell appealing scents, the smell of the food, the aroma of coffee. Or if you buy a cell phone from one of the major players, the whole customer experience is wrapped around it. It's tactile, etc. How important is the delivery? So it's one thing to say, hi, I want a cart, but it doesn't show up like a box, unless, of course, you're buying a Cybertruck. But usually there's a lot of things in there that are almost sensory rewards. What does that matter? Right now, I've just talked about the experience. Here's the product in front of me, but even the whole process. How does that shape the connection between the customer?
So you're trying to understand it like from inquiry to delivery.
Yeah.
So this entire process, is it important, correct?
Yeah.
These are good example because it reminds me of a story that from one of my friends went to East Berlin before the Berlin Wall collapsed. As you may know, it's a communist country and service delivery is not the point. What they're looking for is the function. And do you get what you pay for or your stomach is being fed? One of my friends in Germany visited East Berlin, went to a restaurant, and I waited for half an hour for a server to come and ask what they are looking for, what they need. The service was like kind of throwing the plates to their table. This is an experience in service delivery. If you have an option, one of them being treated well, informed every step of your service delivery, what is going to happen, when you are going to receive, and when also they are just, let's say, coming, installing your internet service, they are just treat you nicely. Then you said, wow, this is very nice service, and I will definitely buy services from this company and recommend to others. Let's say, give an example for the internet service. You order from an ABC company internet. They tell you which day they are going to come, what's the time frame. Then they come on time, connect services, and make sure your internet is working before they leave. You're happy because why? You've been informed. They didn't come home when you are not there. They came to your place when you are there. They installed it, making sure your phones and laptops are working because you have the connection, and left. How would you do? Rate them with 5 star. What would you do? Tell your friends, I got it from ABC. Everything went smooth. So service delivery is super important. Communication with client is super important.
Now, when you're scaling, what options of funding are there to achieve this? There's always going to the bank, but what else is there?
When you need to scale, you need money. And there are many options, but the main three ones is, let's say if you're in the beginning of your business, we do bootstrapping. We use our own resources and try to build up some customer base and revenue. But when you come to certain level, this is not enough anymore. So you cannot just do it your saved $5,000, $10,000. So you need more. Then there are other options like angel investors or venture capitals. These are like great for high growth businesses. So angel investor put some money, venture capitals as well. But the third solution is revenue-based financing, also called royalty-based financing. They put some money in your business. In return, they get a share from your revenue. So basically bootstrapping, angel or venture capitalists, and revenue-based financing. These are the solutions for businesses trying to scale.
Thank you.
Welcome.
In the growth space, as you're growing, there's going to be stresses. Then when you hit that part where you're going to scale, there'll be some more stresses. How do you maintain the personality of the company, the culture, with your crew, with the people you're onboarding? Your clients have a certain expectations. In some coffee shops, they go through ethically sourced coffee bean. How do you sustain that culture then? As you're all of a sudden, you're going through rapid growth and go boom.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that?
Anytime there's change, anytime you are making things different than what you've been doing so far, you will see resistance from the team members. So that's why communication is key when you are going to do something else. We clearly define the core values. We talk to our employees in regular or like the team leaders, managers, why we are doing this and how long does it take and how will it look like at the end of this change. So it's important to change and change management and then relaying your messages to the entire team and being on the same page with everyone in the company. It's not easy all the time. Some people shows still resistance. No, this is not how we do business. But then again and again, patiently, you're going to explain why we are doing this and how we cannot survive staying at this level as a small fish. It's time to grow up, right? So the other one is you need to hire for culture fit rather than just skills, such as you hire someone perfectly good technical skills. You look at the resume, everything's fit. But the person is not a people person and he's not working well with the team members. And what are you doing is you're axing your company culture. And then it's going to be, he's going to do, no, I'm going to do it this way. The other guy says, no. Companies who work efficiently and collaboratively and produce good results. If there's like always animosity, fighting between team members, and you don't get the results you want. The other thing is about company culture, just to make sure that it's staying intact and not being affected by changes and scaling. You need to do regular team check-ins, how they are doing, their opinion. And also, like I said before, transparent communication. You need to talk to them, give the message, not only quarterly meetings, not only annual meetings, regularly talk to your team members and get their pulse. If they're really doing well or just hindering certain stuff and not talking to you. So good leaders, good management should be hearing what the employees are talking about.
So you talk about growing a business and everyone says, oh, it's word of mouth. And that's fine to say, but how do you systemize that? How do you actually put metrics behind word of mouth? even is it possible?
So basically, we are just going to use certain numbers to understand.
How do we maximize the potential of word of mouth?
Okay. To maximize potential word of mouth, you need to just listen what people talking, right? Active listening is important. And then in order to make word of mouth positive, you need to make sure that you are always focusing on the quality and service deliverables. So if these are always good, if the people, of course, there are people that not going to enjoy the services and products of yours. There will be negative talk about your company. But if you are just always good at your quality, keeping your promises, timely check-in with customers, and then customers will always talking positive about your business. This is where the good management just get good results. How? Making sure that timely going to clients and then asking how they are doing, are they enjoying the service, anything else can be done. If you've done this type of service, word of mouth is going to be coming with the good results as well.
So one thing as you're scaling, how do you make sure that you stay agile? How do you make sure that even customer choices aren't changing enough to put you out of business? How do you do that?
This is a good question because let's say you want to just say that, okay, I came to a certain level. Now I want to double my sales in 3 years. Yes, but how about the market condition? How about the customer behaviors? How about the demand for your product? What's the price for the same product from competition? Basically, you need to monitor trends and customer behaviors. You cannot just do anything you wish in today's world. And the second thing is you need to encourage innovation and test new ideas on a small scale before fully rolling out. Let's say you have an idea, say, hey, I'm going to expand and sell this. But why don't you test it on a test market? Let's say you have the product you are doing well in Ottawa, but you want to just do nationwide. And then why don't you try in another, let's say Kingston or Toronto? Then test the market only for that region specific to campaigns and product rollout. You see there's a good demand. If there is, then yes, we are ready to just rolling out nationwide. And as I said earlier, stay customer centric. Listen and adjust quickly. I see that businesses failing to reach their existing customer. Existing customer is golden. You will make your existing customer happy in order to gain more customers. If you think that like in old world sales tactic, oh, I sold it, forget it. He's paying monthly. No problem. You lose those customers in the long run. You are going to check them every 6 months. Maybe in the email, maybe insert in the invoice how they are doing. Are they happy? Do you have any question? Please let us know. And in return, give them $10 credit on the next invoice. Trust me, customer will stay with you. How do I know? My fiance, I offered her to change some of the services. She didn't change, even though it was cheaper with the competition and better service, said better technology-wise. She said, you know, what I have right now is the best customer service. Anytime I call them, I get an answer. This makes businesses successful.
I thought you were talking about your fiance had an option to be married to somebody else. The warranty with this, honey, is good.
For this thing, we need to have another podcast.
Marital advice. That would definitely do it.
Yeah.
As we roll forward into life and our businesses, what are the key pointers you want to remind business to do? Because we covered a lot of different things. On warranty to, does it smell nice, to the CRM. What are the key points you want everybody to really understand and come away with?
If you're scaling your business, don't rush. Ensure you have the predictable revenue model first. You are just keep getting this similar revenue or just going down or just at the same level. The numbers tells you everything. Okay. So insightful data. Revenue diversification is another thing, should be strategic, not just overwhelming. So then you have revenues coming from A, B, C, and D different products. And most of them are above like certain level and it is satisfactory. And then Wayne was asking about the CRM, when to invest in technologies. Investing in the right technology is so important. Because why? The wrong investment is going to burn cash. Right investment bring you more business, more revenue. And this is our goal, making sure that businesses just getting the revenue they desire. Customer retention is important. Like I always say, they always look at businesses look at the new customer, but first look at your existing customer first. And then scaling requires financial discipline. Grow smart, not fast.
We're on Zoom right now, and Zoom reaches everywhere in the world. How do we reach you, and what is a geography or a specialty that you would like to work on?
Okay, so they can reach me just calling my numbers 613-790-8340, or they can email me al@127ventures.ca. They can send me an email. Or they can go to our website and find us, 127ventures.ca. Or LinkedIn, they can connect and then send me just a quick questions. Guys, don't be shy. I am very friendly and love to talk. Reach out to me. I can help. And so basically, these are the way they can just reach, and I'll help them.
I want to say thank you to Al Guvener, co-host Wayne Pratt, and you, the Knack for Business listeners. If you're running a business, you're starting to get to that point where, wow, the business is really starting to take off. Al is the person to reach out to because there's so many different facets. Everything from your support, your warranty, your packaging, your approach to your customer base. All these things will influence your success downstream. Reach out to Al. He's also a good person to have a chat with, just even if you're trying to sort things through.
To reach the podcast hosts, email them at info@creativeinsight.com or by the website creativeinsight.com, spelled KREATIVINSIGHT.com. To reach Wayne at his email, wayne@motive8u.ca, that is MOTIV, the numeral 8, and the letter u.ca, or his website, motive8u.ca. If you would like to be a guest on this podcast and share your knowledge, let us know. We would also appreciate your feedback on the content or format. Check the show notes for more details. For these podcasts, we like to acknowledge the support and thanks to the following people. Carl Richards from Podcast Solutions Made Simple, a renowned podcast expert. Fred Crouch, who is the Property Wizard podcaster, where Bernie is a co-host. Jovan Strika from Hive, a co-working space that is more than just a space. Then Melanie Weber, Bernie's invaluable business partner, and Wayne Pratt from Motive 8U Inc., who serves as both a coach and co-host of these podcasts. Disclaimer. Please note that the Knack for Business podcast episodes are meant solely for educational and general informational purposes. The information and opinions contained within are not intended to be professional advice on any subject matter. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the participants are their own personal beliefs and do not represent the views of the podcast hosts or any affiliated organizations. It is important to note that this podcast is not a replacement for consulting with certified experts in your area who possess knowledge of your unique situation. The hosts of the podcast, along with any participants or affiliated groups, do not take responsibility for any actions taken or not taken based on the information presented in this episode. It is highly recommended that individuals seek guidance from their own personal advisors in fields such as accounting, law, or other pertinent areas prior to undertaking any actions or making decisions that may impact their financial, legal, or other aspects of life.